before I found Islam, I was actually seeking for something. I've actually managed to. I've always been a goal achiever. Many things in life that I set for myself. A lot of goals that I set for myself, and Alhamdulillah, I have achieved them. But what I was really seeking for was actually that inner satisfaction, which was why I began to explore a little bit more about the spiritual path. I was a Christian, and not really a practicing Christian, but I did my research in terms of studying the various literature, various books, to actually give me an understanding on what Christianity was all about, which was actually a good thing, because it actually led me to the path of to where I am today. I was a singer, I was a performer, so I was actually exposed to a lifestyle that was pretty much very open and very a lifestyle that didn't have any boundaries or any rules, or which had exposed me to a lot of things that didn't really reflect a good thing for me lah, for myself. Which was why I felt that when I met my wife, at that time she wasn't my wife lah. So when I met her, it had actually sparked to actually want to find the truth lah, to actually make a better life for myself, which had actually led me to seek what other religions are about. So I actually studied a little bit about Buddhism, Hinduism, and when I did explore, I could I could actually relate myself a lot to Islam, because of the way that I've been living, my lifestyle, and mainly because a lot of my friends I've been exposed to the Muslim lifestyle, by a lot of my close friends, which is where I actually seek some guidance from actually the closest people to me lah, my friends lah. He introduced me to some videos, a very very how to say distinctive but simple approach to actually want me to get to know a little bit about Islam, because previously I always had this perception that Islam is hard, Islam is very difficult, and a lot of things I had to consider, mainly because my family, my mom was a very staunch Hindu at that time, and my concern was actually the acceptance of my family, as well as how people would react. Well, life before Islam was very simple, very easy, because previously I could do anything I wanted to. I would usually choose a particular way of life or a religion mainly based on my convenience, not really living my life to the rules or the guidelines set by a particular religion. So a lot of other religions would actually allow that flexibility, which was why I was, it was a bit hard for me to run away from that lifestyle into something which is very certain. Why Islam? Why of all religions, why did you take Islam? Why did you pick Islam? Why did you choose Islam? And my answer would be very simple. I did not choose Islam. Allah has chose Islam for me, mainly because of the experiences, my life experiences, that led me to this particular decision of mine. Somehow things fell into place. Everything fell into place and all that. So at the beginning, I would say I did not really have a tough time wanting to revert into Islam. A lot of other people would face other different scenarios, but I am actually very very blessed by Allah that He has made my journey to find the truth way simpler than other people. I'm grateful for that. After I reverted, I had actually no idea on where I should go for classes. I wasn't really well informed, but after I reverted, I was actually just left to be on my own. I feel that a lot of other people who actually probably would want to revert and who want to embrace Islam would actually find it a very very tough journey, and find it to be a very hard and difficult thing to do because there's not enough guidance. There's not enough understanding. Guidance in terms of understanding what really Islam is about is to actually show them that, look, Islam is actually very simple. After you've reverted, a lot of people tend to be demotivated because nobody is there to motivate them. Everybody assumes that, oh, now you are Muslim, so you know your duties. You need to do this. What I feel is the method that we should actually take is actually to motivate. And this is something that I find in abundance at Al-Qadim, mainly because I do listen to a lot of Ustaz Sheikh Husseini's talks. I've been attending his classes, and the first time I came here and when I actually managed to solat with the people here, I realized that there's so many things that is not being practiced in your conventional mosque and stuff like that, in terms of how far apart you are when you stand. You need to be close to each other, in terms of your saf and the right way of praying, according to the sunnah, and trying to stick to the sunnah as closely as possible, and which I feel which is really the basic, and that is really what people really need to know. And by the way, the support and the friendship as well as the brotherhood that I see in Al-Qadim is actually drawing me closer and closer to it. I begin to see that it's starting to develop me better as a person, as an individual. My mind started to open up a little bit more, and my understanding on Islam began to broaden. So you need all this form of support group. Al-Qadim, they invite you in. As a revert, you would totally be able to relate to Al-Qadim, because the topics that are discussed about, the programs that are run. In fact, Ustaz Husseini himself was a revert, and which actually got me totally in sync with Al-Qadim, because I feel that I could relate to him, and with the stories he shared, I would share something with my brothers and sisters who have not yet found Islam. I mean, Islam is something that is there, it's always been there. It's already been provided, it's a guideline. It's whether we want to actually make the first move. You can't wait for Islam to just bring itself to you. You need to actually make the first move to actually want to know. And once you actually make that first move, Islam will come to you. Some people portray Islam as a good thing. Some people portray Islam as as difficult and very negative. Try and look at it both sides. Consider. Don't have a single track mind of concluding Islam as because someone said this about Islam, and so I'm not going to pursue it. No, give it a chance, because I did give it a chance, and I'm a testimony. I'm a living testimony that it has made my life more challenging, but it has made it more meaningful.